Coming from this edition of Perspectives, their mission is to better prepare students to succeed in law school and also to help bring more diversity in the field of law. We'll tell you more about this trailblazer organization that has been serving for over 50 years. The Council on Legal Education Opportunity joins us next, right here on Perspectives, with yours truly, Darren Jaime.
What's on your mind? Express what's on your mind. What's on your mind?
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference in someone's life. Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I'm Darren Jaime. Of course, we thank you for joining us. As always, you can join us here on BronxNet Channel 67. We also invite you to stay connected to us on our social media platforms at BronxNet TV. Now, if you're looking to reach me personally, you can get connected to me on my professional Facebook page. That's Darren C. Jaime. Then also on Instagram and Twitter at DCJaime23. And there you'll find some information and possibly some inspiration just as well. Well, today we're pleased to have a great friend and guest of the show, and he's truly been a friend of the show. He's been around for many years. We've seen him as a political analyst, but he's had many hats, and I know that you know that he's been with us on BronxNet before on many of our platforms here on Perspectives, but he's now also the CEO of Clio Incorporated. He's done some major things in his career. He's been a college professor, president and commissioner of the Board of Elections, and also an executive at the state legislature for almost 2 decades. So he's got an illustrious career. It moves, it transitions now. Today, he joins us as the CEO of Clio Incorporated, the Council on Legal Education Opportunity. Here to learn a little bit more about this council and then also his role. We're pleased to have none other than JC Polanco join us. And JC, glad to have you with us, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, Darren. I really appreciate coming back on the show. I want to thank you and your team for inviting me to talk about Clio and some of the new things that I'm up to since my old days as a attorney / political commentator.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's talk about it. You were an attorney and still are, and you still do political commentating, but now you're in this new role that requires a little bit more of a more intentional approach towards some helping, I should say, students really advance in the legal field. So first of all, talk to us a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Well, you know, since July, I've had the fortune of becoming the CEO of the Council on Legal Education Opportunity. And as you mentioned, it's a 54-year-old organization and has served over 30,000 students of historically and underrepresented backgrounds to become attorneys. And it's just an incredible opportunity for me, being a kid from the Bronx, and knowing that I'm part of this incredible organization. I just want to thank the board and the incredible staff that have made the last couple of months incredibly worthwhile and so fulfilling.
Yeah. And so as we talk about the organization itself, you're helping people in a law kind of way and education. And this is all your background because you've done this before, but now you're helping in another format. So exactly, talk to us about the organization.
Yeah, you know, it's a dream come true for me. The Council on Legal Education Opportunity, as you know, runs many programs across the country that prepares students for law school. And not only do we prepare them by providing them mentorship and giving them the skills necessary to think like attorneys, to write like attorneys, we give them that really priceless ability to meet people like themselves, that look like themselves, that come from similar backgrounds. And they work together so that they can be prepared for that first year of law school. You know, a lot of our students that want to be attorneys have never met an attorney before. I know that as a kid from the Bronx, I know my mom used to clean the office of an attorney. I never got to meet the guy. First time I got to meet an attorney was in law school. So, you know, what we do is that we prepare young people, many like those that I grew up with, and people like myself growing up in some of the toughest parts of our country with little to no money, and who have a drive and an ambition to become attorneys. We get them ready. And our goal at the end of the day is to diversify the legal profession, because there's value in diversity. And there's a lot of value in diversifying a profession, the one that is mentioned in the Constitution, the one that safeguards our democracy, the ones that is in every judge's chamber, every legal office, every part of our government, every corporation. You will find attorneys in every facet of society. And it's so important that we diversify those ranks so that people like ourselves can see themselves in those roles. So Clio has been fulfilling that for the last 54 years. And you can only imagine how excited I am coming from a background like that to be leading such an incredible team that's been doing this for so long.
When you talk about the legal, well, I say exposure to people in the courtroom, whether that's criminal, whether that's whatever, we all know that sometimes there is this lack of diversity that you see in the courtroom. But give us your perspective on what that means to be able to see somebody who looks like you, to understands a little bit of the culture, to be actually be in the courtroom and to be working as an attorney.
It means the world to a lot of people who have never seen themselves in those positions. To be able to see yourself there matters. And it does, because we provide something that other people can't, right? And it's just, it's invaluable to be able to walk into a courtroom and see a judge that comes from where you come from, someone that you could relate to. Matters. That experience, it's a priceless one. And often when I speak about diversity to folks, you get a lot of pushback from people that don't quite understand what it's about. A lot of pushback, especially today with all of the discussion on affirmative action and diversity programs. People often push back because they don't really understand what we're trying to get to. Justice Thomas recently said, I hear a lot about diversity, but I don't even know what diversity means. Well, I promise you, Judge Thomas, that you have benefited from somebody that obviously saw the importance of having people from different walks of life participate in what I believe. And this is, I know there are a lot of non-lawyers watching, but I truly believe that the law is a very special profession. Not just because it's the only one mentioned in the Constitution, but because the law is everywhere around us. I often, Darren, have conversations with students, and I pick one student and I say, share with me a day in your life. And from the moment they wake up to the moment they brush their teeth, to the moment they eat breakfast and get out of that apartment to go on the bus, to go to school, to take those classes, they soon realize that the law was around them from the moment they went to sleep the night before to the moment they go to sleep the next day. It's right. All around you. Why not want to be part of that? Well, we realize that a lot of people don't know how to be part of it. They don't know how, because maybe they never met someone in the field. Maybe they never saw themselves in the field. Maybe they view this as something that is unattainable to them. Well, Clio comes in and says, no, you can't do it. And we're gonna give you the know-how. We're gonna explain to you why it matters that people from your walk of life participate in this important profession. You may feel that this profession is closed off to you because you hear that it's only for the wealthy to participate in. And that may be a reason why you don't participate in the legal profession. Perhaps you're intimidated by attorneys. Perhaps you're intimidated by the law and the jargon. Well, Clio says no need to be intimidated. Oh, we are here to prepare you. We're going to give you the skill set that you'll need to go toe-to-toe with some of the brightest minds across the country. And since July, I have met so many incredible people that have graduated from Clio programs. People like General Ronald Sullivan, who is the second brigadier general in Army history, African-American descent, who is a Clio alum. I have met folks that were dreamers that came from Mexico and Acapulco, going through the deserts to live in Utah, undocumented, and today are naval officers. And they're practicing law in the Navy as JAG attorneys that were members of Clio. Like those stories, there's just so many. And it really is exciting to be part of such an incredible organization that focuses on diversifying the legal profession. Now, I know I'm talking too long, Darren. I just get excited because, when Clio first started, there were only 2% of attorneys around the country that were from historically disadvantaged and underrepresented backgrounds. Today, 54 years later, it's only up to 5%. We have 5% African American, 5% Latinos, and 5% Asian Americans that are participating in the law. The numbers are even smaller for those that come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. So, it's a lot of work to know that 54 years, we've only doubled that number and added another percentage. But I know that with the drive that we have from this board and from the staff and from the engagement that so many young people from across the country feel right now with the law, whether it be George Floyd, whether it be affirmative action, whether it be the issues of Roe versus Wade and what they see happening in politics today, we're getting a lot of young people that are very much excited to be part of the law and are looking to programs like CLEO to help them get there.
What are the barriers? Because when you talk about people and the numbers, and you see the numbers that are very sizable, of people not even entering the profession, not even thinking about the profession. There's some people who are just anti the system, right? Because of what they've seen projected on media, or what they've seen through results that we've seen with criminal justice cases, civil cases, things of that matter. There can be this aversion, if you will. But what are you seeing in your work that are some of the barriers that are keeping people from really extending and going after these careers?
There are a few things. I think that feeling that it's an impossibility because of the costs associated with law school. I know a lot of people in my class at Fordham, we borrowed a lot of money to become attorneys. They see the student loans as being an issue that they would have to take out. Also, the amount of work that's required to be an attorney. Once you finish college, if you do a night program like I did, it's a little longer. I know I did a law degree and MBA. So it took me 5 years, but a lot of folks see themselves saying, if I do 3 years full time, this 3 years not being at work, not making money somewhere else, and they view that as being too much of a burden or something that's insurmountable for them to achieve their goals and their dreams of being an attorney. And I just have to remind them that when you have something as important as safeguarding the democracy, protecting the rights of those that have been accused of crimes, bringing charges against those that have committed crimes, right? When you think about the role of an attorney, you have to consider the fact that it's very similar to that of a doctor, right? These are things that require a level of expertise, a certain level of knowledge and practice that requires you to do a lot of work, and it's going to be time consuming. But there's nothing worth having that doesn't require work. So one of the things that we want to do is make sure that it's one of the reasons why we have such an important program as part of CLEO, where we actually help students with the understanding the finances, how to best prepare themselves financially to go on to law school. We'll help them look for financial aid, scholarships, but more importantly, we help them get their financial house in order so that they're ready to go ahead and go to law school, focusing on their studies. And another issue is that LSAT and the school and working hard and academics it's always been a difficult thing for many of our students. Students that come from where I come from find difficulties in school. A lot of them have been underfunded for a long time. Many of them understand that the schoolwork is going to be important for them moving into college. And they may think that they don't have the skill set. We say you do. You just got to tap into it. So here at CLEO, we have programs that are targeting freshmen in college, sophomores, where they come in for Saturdays and focus on starting to prepare for the LSAT exam. On juniors also participate in a specific program that helps them through the weekends, preparing them to jumpstart the LSAT, as we call it. And then we have that very popular pre-law summer institute where we take students from all over the country. They apply to be part of this program. They then go ahead for 6 weeks and actually live on campus at a law school and live and work with people like themselves from similar backgrounds, and actually work with and get classes from actual law school professors that monitor their writing, that improve their writing, that work on their thinking, so that they're ready to rock and roll when they're in law school. We also have programs for those of us that had imposter syndrome that first year of law school. A lot of us can't believe we're there. We look to our right, there's some dude from Harvard. Look to our left, some dude from Yale. True story, happened to me. We're like, what am I doing here? Do I belong here? Well, we have an Attitudes is Essential program that works with students so that they're ready to go and they really feel part of the law school community, so that while they're there, we're focusing on some of the issues that create attrition. A lot of students feel as if they don't belong and end up leaving. So what we want to do is for them to stay, to stick it out, and to finish strong. And we'll prepare them for that as well. So Clio is very popular with a lot of present attorneys and with judges, especially. I know many district attorneys here in the Bronx have been part of Clio, who stop me to this day and tell me, "You're the guy in charge of Clio. I'm a Clio alum." And it's great to hear the stories of how Clio helped them begin to think like attorneys and did not let them down, stuck with them the whole way through. And today they credit their careers to the Clio programs. So imagine me, there was Cassandra Ogden was a CEO for 25 years. And here I come. I'm the first CEO and first CEO change in almost a generation. So I get to hear all these amazing stories of people sharing their experiences with me. And it really motivates me to begin thinking of new ways to modernize this organization, to look for ways that we can tap into the hearts and souls of students and law school deans as we move into the future, to have them become participants of Clio. And I continue to see that it's a very interesting time getting people to also donate to Clio, because it's so important that people understand that we have all the money in the world to diversify the legal profession from top to bottom, but too often that money's in their checking accounts. So it's my job to tell the story and convince them to visit our website at clioinc.org and to look at the 30,000 students that are now attorneys that we've supported throughout the years, and to help us with our causes.
I want to take a quick break and talk a little bit more about your career, your transition, and how a person can go from being a political analyst to an attorney to now the CEO of Clio. We'll bring it back with more with JC Polanco when we return right here on Perspectives.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at bronxnet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
And we're back here on Perspectives. Darren Jaime here with you. We are joined by JC Polanco, who is the CEO of Clio. And as we talked about before, new transition, haven't had transition in 25 years, representing a new breed that's out there today, bringing to life people in the area of law, particularly young people, cultivating that interest and really getting people a good start in thinking about that law career. And I'm glad to have him with us. He's been a friend, a brother, and he's also been a political analyst. We've worked with him before, but he's also a man of many hats. And he's been the president, commissioner of the Board of Elections, and then also an executive at the state legislature. So this has been almost like a full circle for you, huh?
It has been. But you know what? Every single opportunity that I've had in my professional career has prepared me for this incredible opportunity that I have now at Clio. I was a law student and a business student at night while teaching at Truman High School in the Bronx. So being able to marry both my passion for education and the law has been an incredible thing for me here with this new position at Clio. And as you mentioned, my 2 decades as an executive at the state legislature, well, that really gives me an edge to understand policy and how policy impacts people. And this is all about people. This is why we do this. This is why you have your program. This is why I wake up in the morning. Is I want to make the world a better place. I know that the members of our board and our staff wake up every day wanting to make the world a better place. The way we do it is by impacting the legal profession. And I'm just so fortunate to be able to bring all of my years and experience in government, in education, and in the law to Clio.
And for you, the opportunity to work with some prime people who are coming up in the age, let me say not prime, but people who are going to be coming into their prime, working as a legal analyst, working in the law profession. That's major to have young people to be able to transition. When I look at some of the work that's gone on in Clio before, you got some very notable people who are actually Clio alumni.
Oh, wow. Do we ever? It's so exciting. My claim to fame is having met General Sullivan, who is a Clio alum. He's a Chief Justice of the Criminal Court of Appeals for the Army. And he shares a wonderful story on our podcast where he even met his wife at Clio. So we even have a love connection. Isn't that wonderful?
That's awesome.
We have Bernarda Villalona, who is on every single cable network as a legal analyst. She's a criminal defense attorney today, but she was one of the top prosecutors in the Kings County District Attorney's Office. There's just so many members of Congress even that are alumni of Clio. We have many people who have dedicated their lives to public service, who have gone through Clio, and it's always exciting to read about their history and how Clio helped them. They often credit their careers to what they were able to learn in our programs. So very, very happy to have made those acquaintances in the last few months, and I know I'm going to meet a lot of them in many years to come. I know that here in the Bronx, we have several DAs that have introduced themselves, as I mentioned earlier, who are also very much in tune with Clio and what we do. What I see a lot of, having just come from the Somos conference, is that I see a lot of judges that want to have their chambers open to Clio students so that Clio students can participate in that. And that's really exciting to be able to plan on that. We have a circuit of Clio judges that have come through our programs and are sitting on the bench today all over the country. But I have spoken to several right here in the Bronx and throughout New York City that are looking forward to work with me to get our students there. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about your vision, because I know that you're at the helm right now. You're seeing things and you see where you want to go. Talk to us about the vision that you have.
One of the things that I realize is that young people are really engaged in social media. They, the way they connect now is very different than when I grew up, where we didn't have Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And the idea of podcasts, it didn't even make any sense to us. And what we're doing now is that we're moving everything in the 21st century. We're moving forward boldly. We have a podcast called the Clio Edge Podcast, which is an exciting place for people to hear from our alumni, what they're working on now. You'll be able to hear from Veronica Dunlap, General Sullivan. You'll be able to hear from Lieutenant Reyes Chavez, Bernarda Villalona, some of our famous alumni that have participated in our podcast. But, the podcast is just one example of many things that we're doing new to create more awareness of the Clio brand, to get people excited about participating in Clio programs. But we're also going to work very closely with social media by engaging with young students and getting them excited about our many programs, from freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. Each and every single year in your college career, there's a Clio program tailored for you and your success. So we're engaging on the social media sphere as well. We want folks to follow us at Clio Scholars, at Clio Scholars. You can follow us there on all of the social media platforms and take a look at some of the things that we're working on. Follow us, engage with us, share our posts, because we're really looking forward to expanding our reach and diversifying the legal profession.
If somebody's out there and they want more information, what's the best way they go about connecting with you?
They can go at Clio Scholars and all of our platforms. They can also visit www.clioinc.org. There you will find all of the programs that we're working on, read about some of our alumni, look at some of the programs that are coming down the pike in the future, our receptions that may be coming down. We have a reception coming up on Wednesday that we're looking forward to having some Bronxites RSVP online. You can stream it and watch it there. But CleoInc.org is where I would ask you to visit. More importantly, remember that every single dollar counts to helping a student that never saw himself as an attorney, who's never met an attorney. Every single dollar helps them to be able to train with attorneys, start thinking like attorneys, and really getting into this legal profession, the most important profession, I believe. Not because I'm being selfish, but I think I've made it abundantly clear that it is the one profession that's all around us from morning to night, and it's the one that's mentioned in the Constitution for safeguarding democracy and civil rights. So we want to make sure that we diversify it, and we're asking folks to visit CleoInc.org and consider donating as well.
JC Polanco, proud of you, brother. I'm glad that you found more of your niche, if you will, and helping people to get to that next level. Excited for you. As we said, we've had you before doing TV with us, and now in another kind of capacity, so you can do TV with us again, still have some conversation about some of this legal stuff that we just don't know about, bringing us up to speed. And I'm glad that you'll be able to impact the lives of so many young people. Thank you for being with us, brother.
Thank you so much. It means the world to me to be on.
All right, JC Polanco, CEO of Clio. I want to let you know we've had a great show. Want to thank JC for joining us, and also want to thank you for watching. Now, check us out every week here on Bronx's Channel 67. Again, if you want to catch us on social media, my personal page, Darren C. Jaime on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, DC Jaime 23. Until the next time we meet, we encourage you to stay safe, but most of all, share your perspective. You just don't know. It might make a difference in somebody else's life. Take care.